Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is Sat TV Week. On the 14th of June, 5 new space companies pioneering the latest space hardware, robotics and technology shared their vision and partnership milestones with investors, industry leaders and British royalty at the Harwell campus New Space Showcase. Members of the world-renowned Harwell Space Cluster, Resitec, Open Cosmos, Effective Space and Oxford Space Systems, alongside European leaders Thales Alenia Space, are part of an 80-strong group of private, public and academic organisations focused on democratising the space market and supporting the UK space sector as it aims for a 10% share of the global market by 2030. His Royal Highness the Duke of York, a fervent supporter, marked the event with the first deployment of Oxford Space Systems' newest antenna targeted at Earth observation satellite constellations. Resitec provides big data geoanalytics and has recently, with the support of the UK Space Agency's International Partnership Programme, launched a mobile app helping Mexican farmers improve sugarcane and wheat yield through the analysis of satellite data. According to Philip Briscoe, Chief Operating Officer, the project can be wheeled out to other parts of the world very quickly.
We work around the world, US, Australia, South Africa. Mexico is one area. So for example, in Mexico, we have a UK Space Agency International Partners Programme project that we're working on right now. So this is working with small-scale Mexican farmers, and they're growing sugar cane and wheat. And what we're doing is helping them improve the yield of those crops through providing analytical tools associated with providing better growing methods. So for example, we might say, right, you need to apply more water here, or there's an early detection of pest here, and that then feeds into the yield or the volume of crop that could be produced, and then that improves to general economic improvement for these small-scale farmers. And we can roll that out not just in Mexico but around the world.
Oxford Space Systems, a company known for its innovation in deployable space antennas and structures for the new space age, announced that it had secured $6.7 million in funding. The funding will help OSS accelerate the development of its pioneering technology and fund its new custom-built headquarters at the Harwell Space Cluster, with the largest clean room on campus for the assembly of space hardware. According to Mike Lawton, CEO, the Harwell facility is incredibly important moving forward.
I think it's critically important, not just to us, but to the UK space economy, because it's a nexus, it's a meeting point of all the critical bits you need to commercialise space. So we've got the collaborative atmosphere of customers and suppliers coming together. We've got state-of-the-art test facilities at Harwell Space and the soon-to-be National Satellite Test Facility. And we have the agencies on campus as well, so ESA and the UK Space Agency. And of course, the Satellite Applications Catapult, which acts as the way of bringing all this together.
Effective Space are pioneering last-mile logistics in space. Effective Space are collaborating with leading space startups and Harwell Space Cluster members to advance in-orbit servicing. Recently awarded a $100 million contract with regional satellite operator, its space drone spacecraft will extend the life of aging satellites by as much as 15 years. But how is it being received by the market? According to Daniel Campbell, Managing Director of Effective Space, theirs is a solution that offers operators an alternative to buying new satellites.
Well, to be frank, there is no other solutions yet to allow operators to have flexibility. The only alternative that they have is actually to buy a replacement satellite. And that's not the most efficient way to manage your fleet. We actually believe that when we will be able to extend existing assets, more satellite can be procured, because the business case behind a satellite is being gradually built when you start a new market. You don't want to start a new market with a new satellite, you want to actually nurture it by an old asset, and then once market conditions allow you to do so, you go and put a new satellite in space. So we want to see ourselves not as a competition for new satellites, but actually allowing new satellites to be built in a more commercially viable way. We are offering much more than just life extension. We can actually relocate satellite to new orbital slot. We can correct inclination. We just saw 2 GEO satellites being put in the wrong orbit and wasting around 6 years of life just to getting to the right orbit. We could actually do that on their behalf and save fuel and resources.
Open Cosmos, with support grant from the UK Space Agency, is enabling companies to bring satellite-based products and services to the market fast. But why is it so important? According to Alish, space is no longer the domain of big corporations only.
It's very important because so far access to space has been very difficult, very expensive, and only available to the big corporations. Using very small satellites, nanosatellites that we are offering in a service way, what it allows us is that our customers are able to focus on the development of their technologies or their services, and we take care of everything else. And this, of course, has massively reduced, simplified for them the use of our technology as a tool.
European leader Thales Alenia Space was keen to showcase the SkimSat, the new breakthrough concept for reducing the cost of Earth-observing satellites without compromising performance by lowering the operational altitude. So all in all, this is a good time to be part of the UK space sector. But why is the Harwell Space Cluster so important to driving the success of the UK space industry? According to Joanna Hart, it is all about helping companies grow and attracting investment.
So the first thing to do is help the companies that are already here grow, so helping them raise their profile, not just by themselves, but by being part of something wider, by being part of that Harwell Space Cluster. This event is just one example of that, trying to show how we can actually get them recognised more on a global stage, and that being based here adds a bit of cachet to what they're trying to do. It's also about trying to attract new companies here. There are a number of collaborations that have been announced today, and that's from being here. So the more we can get more organisations here realising those benefits, collaborating on new ideas, the more we can actually drive the UK space industry and the Harwell Space Cluster.